Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday. Today is going to be a very special vlog about something that is very personal to me and something that I actually struggle with quite a lot. It's not something that you can look at and just notice that somebody struggles with. You have to actually know the person, you have to know their habits, you have to know how they work, you have to know how success comes to them, you have to know what kind of things kind of persuade them to fail. That's actually a great way of saying it, is this thing persuades me to fail more than it helps me succeed. These are my clothes. All of them. I just feel like getting rid of some. I think I'll keep my sweatshirts because sweatshirts. Okay, tees first. I have 12 white tees, 4 graphic tees, and 4 colored blank tees, but I just bought 9 out of 12 of the white tees, so I'll get rid of the leftover 3. Pants. I have casual pants and work pants, but I don't ever wear my casual pants, so let's get rid of 3 of them. These are my workout shirts, which need to be different than my normal, but I still never wear these 3 red long sleeves anymore, so they're gone. Long sleeves. I never really wear these, so gone. These are the oddballs, but most are needed even though I haven't worn the 2 on the left. So this is what's left over, which is still a lot of the original, but I don't like to have a lot of clothes that I don't wear. I've had this vinyl for more than a year and I had intended to put it on my desk, but in my recent lack of motivation, I figured I might as well check it off. Today, I really want to visit and possibly move to New York as a freelance photographer and videographer, so here's my constant in-my-face motivation.
Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it. Yeah, losing my feelings, send all these women away. Worked on my focus, is working out lately, man, what can I say? Yeah, all that I need, my homies and music, that's all that I know. The trip to the top is way better together than going alone. When that time comes, my whole squad gon' flex, what up? When that time comes, my whole fam get rich. Yeah, you heard that I'm right. Said I'm up next and you know I just might chart on the billboards to sell out that film or catch waves and get famous all overnight. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it. Yeah. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it.
Okay guys, so the talk that I wanted to talk about today is about what I struggle with myself, and that is I struggle with ADD really bad. Now there's ADD, which is attention. Now there's ADD and there's ADHD. The only difference is ADD is attention deficit disorder. ADHD is just throwing in a hyper in there, so attention deficit hyper disorder. That is actually, kind of what it sounds like. It's generally, has to do with people that are over energetic or their symptoms of ADD are at a hyper level state. And so the things that I deal with are very common things day to day. They're things that I have to deal with every single day. So I went through and actually kind of like made a list of the things that kind of have to do with ADD that I have. This does not encompass ADD, so if you are looking at this as, well, I have symptoms that are not on here, maybe it doesn't. I'm not a medical professional, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just explaining this about myself. So when it comes down to trouble concentrating and staying focused, I'm really easily distracted by irrelevant sounds and sights. My hearing is is always hyperactive. I'm always hearing everything. I'll often look into a direction if I see a sound that I'm curious about or kind of is alarming to me, and that happens in any situation, no matter what I'm doing. Growing up, when it was really evident that I had ADD, is I bounced from activity to activity. I often stuck with sports. I just picked up more sports, and then one year I quit all my sports and started doing all kinds of new things. And I was always very good at those things, but I never stuck with them for probably more than 3 years themselves. I have a really, really bad habit of zoning out. It's not really a habit, and I know a lot of people zone out. I do it almost every single time that I go to a college lecture or anything. I zone out every single time. I never will only focus on the lesson. It's impossible for me. I can have no distractions. Put my phone away, computer away, just have notes or no notes, nothing in front of me, and I will zone out 100% of the time. All three of those things kind of equate to this next one. I just have a wandering attention span, attention direction. I'm never just focused on one thing. Just doesn't happen. I cannot focus on other people speaking in the sense of, like, if you're saying long-winded things to me, especially if I don't find them interesting, I can't, one, fake like I'm interested or be focused about what you're saying. And then often, even with conversations that I do find important, I won't remember them. I just don't remember them. It's like, because my mind is somewhere else, completely somewhere else. The next thing is hyperfocus. Now, that is exactly the opposite of ADD, but it can also be a negative thing. So hyperfocus is being in a state of focus that basically you're oblivious to all outside forces or interruptions. And that's generally really good. That can be great, but it also can be a strain on relationships and deadlines and other projects if you're trying to do multiple things at once, but you're only focused on this one interesting part. That can be very distracting, and I have that really bad. Often when I'm editing or I'm doing pre-production for a project, I just get so absorbed into that any interruption, no matter what it is, if somebody calls me that needs help or just like a simple little question or just something that catches my attention, it agitates me a lot. So that, I wish I could, and sometimes I do use that in a very good, productive manner, but not as much as I wish. And that actually leads to one of the biggest problems that hyperfocus causes, and that's I have a lot of unfinished projects. So basically what happens is, for the first half of the project, I'm just like, it's just a one-on-one connection. There's nothing in between. I'm just 100% focused. And then by the time I get to halfway in, I just, boom, gone. Interest, gone, nothing, no focus, and I can't continue the project. I don't know. I basically moved on to something else, which is stupid. Then one of the big categories of ADD, or ADHD especially, is impulsivity, which I'm not actually sure is technically a word, but whatever. But the only time that I really have a problem making impulse decisions, God, I've not been saying that word lately very well. I make very impulsive financial decisions sometimes. The big ones were, one time I saw a motorcycle when I already had a very nice bike, and like a week later, I sold my bike and bought that bike, just like that. They were both awesome bikes though, so. And then this computer that you see right here, major impulse decision, major, just out of the blue. And the one thing with impulsivity is kind of, I don't know if social awkwardness is the best way to put it, but I don't have any interest in conversations that I don't either learn from or have some way to connect to it. And then if you're just wanting to small talk, I'm not there. I could care less. I would rather not talk and focus on something else than focus on trying to small talk. I think that's so dumb. And I can't sit still at all. Like, I'm over here just kind of playing with my hands. I do that. Emotionally, I have a huge sense of underachievement. I know, and that's also that's a two-sided street. One, it is a sense of underachievement because I know of just how much I'm capable of. And then the other part is I'm incapable of feeling achievement for all the things that have gotten me to this point. Basically, I achieve something, I grow, I get at a new level, and none of that stuff matters anymore. It's just about the next level, the next achievement. And then the second emotional thing is, like, I have hard trouble staying motivated. So being able to actually stay in the mindset of really wanting to get that project done or really wanting to help that person out, it's off and on. It's like flipping a switch. And then the last thing is hyperactivity. So I'm highly energetic towards life, but I'm often very restless inside. Like, there's more to do. I'm capable of more. Nothing is enough. I've constantly got to do more and more and more and more. Kind of like adrenaline junkies often are people who can't focus in school. They feel like they have to always be testing their limits, taking risks. I'm like that. I'm pretty consistently agitated with, like, interruptions or people bothering me for small things, because that means that my focus gets pulled away for something that's not important at all. And that's really difficult for me and on my relationships, because somebody can call me for something that they're just wanting to make sure they get the right food for me, and I'm just like, really? You had to call me, like, interrupt me. But they didn't do anything wrong. That's just me. And then I have racing thoughts. I know people often do when they're excited or their adrenaline's rushing, all the time, 100% of the time, thinking about so many things at once. It makes saying the right thing and pronouncing things really hard if you haven't noticed. Fidgeting, already talked about that, you know. And then the last thing is, this is also a two-sided street of doing a lot of things at once. Often, I realize that I'm capable of managing a lot of things and doing them not necessarily simultaneously, but one after another, or doing them based off priority. But at the same time, doing so much at once is a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, which can basically prevent you from getting anything done. Like, I'm really surprised I even got to making this video. That's how bad my ADD is. Okay, so run is done, and for the most part, what we've talked about is what I wanted to get out today. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you for watching the vlog. I hope you guys felt a little more insight on kind of my story and my life and the things that I deal with. YouTube is a big struggle for me. It's a huge passion, but it's a struggle because of this. And so every day I have to kind of battle these things, and I'm not saying that I'm necessarily unique in this way, because I'm sure there are so many people who've overcame this, and I'm trying to overcome this. I just wanted to let you guys know that I do struggle with it. Just wanted to kind of get it off my chest, and I'm working on it. I'm considering looking at alternative ways of helping with this, because I know if I can improve on these things, my potential is way up here when it's down here at the moment. And I think if I can relieve some of these stresses, then I can easily get up here. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be coming out with 3 videos this weekend, vlogs, whatever we want to call them. I'm going on a camping trip to Raccoon Lake, so stay tuned for that. I haven't been camping in a while, and I really need the break from, like, the digital civilized world. So I hope you guys enjoy that stuff. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning, whatever it is. Have a good one.